I'm going to start this series. We'll see how it goes. It's called Cookbooking with me. I love cookbooks. I love reading about recipes. I love learning new techniques. I love adding them to my cookbook shelf. However, I don't always know what book to go for. I'm always curious about what kind of cookbooks are there and whether or not they're any good. I'm going to start off with one that is already tested and true for me. So this has to be one of my favorite cookbooks. So this is the Unofficial Harry Potter Cookbook by Dinah Bulchoz. This book has recipes from the first book to the last book. And every recipe in this book is accompanied by like a little quote telling you where it happened in the book. Sometimes a few extra lines of text kind of bring you into the moment. It's organized based off of like different categories in Harry's life. There's the favorite cook's recipes, which is Mrs. Weasley. There's recipes from a giant and an elf, which is anything that Hagrid or Creature made. There's treats from the train, which is anything that's involving the train. This book really does have quite a variety of recipes. A few simple recipes. It also has quite a few wilder recipes, a little bit more advanced than what I typically use. And it has quite a bit in between. I've used this book on and off for probably about 2 years now, and I've honestly never run into a dud. It's always been quite a bit of fun. It's been an excitement. It's been a journey. Today we're going to be trying out a recipe I've never tried in this book. It's the apple crumble pie on page 46 to 47. I won't be giving away the entire recipe because I don't want to infringe on copyright, but I'll put a pared down recipe down below. You should be able to follow along with fairly similar results, but if you want the full details, definitely check out the book. This recipe, apple crumble pie, is a part of a set that Dinah did. It's her 4 classically British pies, and this is from when Professor Slughorn has his Slug Club. In Chapter 7 of The Half-Blood Prince, Slughorn passes along a tray of classically British pies. Dinah does take a little bit of like liberty in this, where she's like, well, we don't know what kind of pies, but what would be a classic British pie from the era? Chicken and mushroom, meat and potato, and then apple crumble, which is what we're doing. And there's also a banoffee pie, which is a little bit scarier. Now you have to boil condensed milk. No thanks. But this one, I'm really excited. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I got my snuggly sweater on. Let's get cooking. Hello, voiceover Miranda here. Oh wait, there's a smudge. Okay, got it. For this review, part of it will be making an actual pie. I recently went apple picking, probably one of the last pickings of the year, and thought it would be a great idea to use those apples in my pie. This recipe, like many of the other recipes in this book, very simple, very straightforward, is right up my alley. When you're doing the crust, remember to try and mix it as quickly as possible. A lot of recipe books would tell you to use a pulser. I'm not about to go spend money when I have 2 perfectly good hands. You just have to be a little bit careful about getting the dough warm, though in all honesty, I've never noticed a issue or a difference. So once you finish making that, you're going to chill it in the fridge for about 2 hours or until you get bored. Know that the warmer your dough is, the more difficult it is to work with. The next step will be peeling the apples, which is quite possibly the most annoying step of any pie making. If I could hire someone to peel apples for me, I would, but money. Always remember, when you're peeling your apples, you must pay the dog tax. And sometimes you get tax returns. To finish that, you chop the apples, then you start to mix in the fillings with it. Think about doing the cinnamon challenge. Decide you do enjoy 2 working lungs. A lot of the times when I'm doing a pie filling, I will have the sugar. However, since this is my first time with this recipe, I'm just going for whatever she tells me to do, minus that pulsing thing in the beginning, but I think we're going to be okay with that. Cooking the filling over the stove, which, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, it annoys me. I don't like to have to cook my pie and then cook it again. Feels like extra time, extra step, grumble, grumble. When you're making the topping of the pie, this one you don't have to worry about getting it warm, so you just kind of mix until you get a sandy texture. Pop the butter in. Realize that you probably should have chopped the butter. Pop it in again. When I'm rolling out my dough, I never understand how people are able to get it to roll on that perfect circle. I think it's witchcraft, possibly magic. Fill your pie with your filling that you've already pre-cooked, which it's another dish, people. It's another dish in a life full of dishes. Next time I'll probably just throw it in without and see what happens. Pop it in there. It's going to be about 350 for 40-ish minutes. While you're waiting, make yourself a cup of tea. Now this step is completely necessary. I would not recommend ever skipping it. Also, you must add the milk and the sugar to the tea. Clean off your workstation so you can get that great glamour shot. Pop in the oven. Slightly regret not cleaning the bottom of your oven, but deciding if people are going to judge you on that, there are far greater problems in this world. So here's the finished pie. It ended up being quite a good recipe. As a note for this pie recipe, so you're supposed to actually make individual, like, smaller pies in a cupcake tin. And I have done that with her other pie recipes. It's so much effort. No thanks. That being said, this pie was delicious. I really enjoyed it. The apples were cooked just right. There wasn't a soggy bottom, probably because we cooked the filling. Despite me having this book for about 3 years at this point, I showed you the inscription, there's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot of recipes in there I haven't tried. Half of mine to try there's this, what's it called? Black pudding? Spotted dick in there. So if you're curious what like the more obscure Harry Potter recipes are, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Happy reading.